G'day YouTube. Today is 24 hours from my first video where I reviewed the new C Gillette safety razor. I believe it's a Merkur head, and we found that it's a mild shave, but it delivers. It's especially forgiving and great for beginners, along with the Gillette razors. So I reckon these are Astras as well. It's a very mild and forgiving shave. Now, I'm going to use a blade for the second time and do a second follow-up from that first video, because it's said that the blade on refinedshaving.com gets sharper for the second and third shaves. Most gentlemen use the blades between 3 to 6 times, and we're going to find out how this performs for a second shave. Now, my stubble is fairly coarse, and this is probably just under 24 hours worth of growth. So I have a fast growing fairly coarse stubble, and I do full face shaving, so you're not going to see me miss problem areas and really coarse hair and then say, hey, I know how to review a razor. We're going to do a full test. And today I'm also going to be doing a review of the Geo F Trumper's Lime. I've got their cream, a sample size that I've paid for. Everything in this video I've paid for, and it's a completely honest review. And their essential oil lime skin food. So I'm going to be using a brush. This is a Yaqi Moka synthetic brush. I think synthetics are probably superior now to Badger brushes. I have a few Badger brushes that I've been given. I no longer buy any Badger brushes just because for ethical reasons. And I'm going to follow it up with some toner for the post shave and that skin food pre and post shave. And I'm just going to be using my favorite bowl and a little spoon to dispense the cream to keep it hygienic, and I'll tell you more about that. But anyway, let's get our shave on. I start with warm to hot water, okay? And like I mentioned in the last video, hot knife through cold butter is akin to cutting a cucumber versus cold water, which is akin to cutting a carrot. So the more hydrated and the warmer the whiskers, the easier it is to cut them and the longer the razor will last. If you're constantly cutting carrots, your knife is going to dull far quicker than if you're cutting cucumbers. So you'll actually have better longevity on your blades if you want to save money that way and you like to use less blades. And part of the reason that's so great about DE shaving is the cost of blades versus cartridges. You get a better result and it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, we love DE shaving. So let's take this limes, and I've got wet hands. We'll give it a bit of a smell. Yeah, that smells good. It's mild compared to some of the others, but it's strong enough. It's a good scent. Now I use a spoon, and generally speaking, I use less than a gram, and I've never used this before. So let's give this a try. So I'm going to use about this much, maybe a touch more. And remember, we're going for slickness. We're not going for foam. Slickness is where it's at, boys. Having a big bowl of foam is not going to give you a better shave, and you're more likely to get cut if it's not slick. So lubrication is key. I'm going to just wet my skin before. Now I'm going to use some of this skin food as a pre-shave. 2 squirts into the hand. Let's see if that's enough onto the fingers. I'm just going to rub that in. Oh, that's a bit stronger, that scent. And again, this is like a gummy, it's got a gummy kind of gelatinous consistency, a bit like a jelly. And we're just going to let that sit whilst we make our lather. So wet the brush. Now you don't need to soak a synthetic. And I shake off most of the water. Okay. Then I'm going to apply my cream directly to my brush, just like that. And then I'm going to take my bowl and I'm just going to start to lather up. And we're looking for something which won't clog the razor, but is smooth and lubricating. So we're not looking for copious amounts of foam, we're just looking to hydrate that cream so it's not too thick. It's a little bit too thick, so I take some water and I just drop the water into the bowl. And this is doing a bowl and brush lather. Now obviously my face is going to be a little bit moist, so you can always adjust the lather once it's on the face. And let's have a bit of a feel. Well, that's getting there. Now I don't like to overdo my lather. You know, if you mix it, you're just going to end up aerating the cream too much, and then it's not going to be lubricating, and you're just going to end up with mountains of foam. Some gents just think the foam is doing the work, and it's not. They paint on like an inch layer of foam on their face. That smells good. I'm going to add a little bit more of this Preshave, which helps hydrate the skin and makes it less prone to cutting, and hopefully that will sink into the skin a bit more and give us some protection. Okay, let's start with the lather. And about a gram, half a gram to a gram for most creams, depending on their slickness, is all you need. You don't need a lot. So a big pot, it's going to last you 6 months quite easily, because we've rubbed that Preshave into the bristles. We probably need a little bit less. Yeah, let's have a feel. That feels good. We're good to go. Second shave with the King Gillette. Yeah, that's pretty good. Flip him around. Yeah, definitely picking up the hairs. First pass done. That's okay. It's knocking back the hair. Now if you're new to shaving, at this point, I suggest you use more Preshave for each pass. So just another squirt, rub that on the skin, and just apply the lather on top. Slickness is where it's at. Yeah, that smells great. And you can see that little bit of cream, and you know, it's more than enough. Let's feel. Yeah, that's great. A little bit more. There is so much cream. That's enough for another pass. And there's more in the bowl. So let's do across the grain. Now, as I mentioned in the first video, my hair shoots across this way around my throat. Second pass done. It's getting smooth now. Not a great deal of residual slickness, but it's improved by the skin food. Another squirt of the skin food, which is really what you're shaving with. You're not so much shaving with a foam, but you want that extra level of protection for the skin. Let's go, final pass. It's a silky smell. Again, I think that there's some truth in that theory that the blade is sharper for the second shave. I reckon there's some truth. Now we're going to go vertical. Yeah. How do you feel? Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's really good. Now this isn't exactly vertical. As I mentioned yesterday, I don't like to go hard against the grain. I like to do it like a sweeping action. Now it's very important to be careful around the lip area. My lips, the skin raises up, and so if I do a sweeping action and I go past the lip or on an oblique angle, you can get nicks on your lip. So you learn how to control it to stop around that lip area, or how to flatten it out. Bit of skin stretching can, that protuberance of the skin, you can really get in there more easily. That's what I like. That's a third pass. A little bit more, which is a little bit more around the jaw. A little bit around here. We want that at least past a close, comfortable shave. Alright, we're there. So hot water to wash off the soap. And then a cold water finish to help tighten up the pores. And now, squeaky clean. Pat dry. And let's use our toner. Now, quick tip, at this point, if you've cut yourself alum block or a styptic, I normally like, if you've cut yourself during a first or second pass, use a styptic immediately. Obviously I've got no cuts and I have an excellent shave, so I'm not going to use anything. I'm going to use an astringent, which is the witch hazel, and a little bit of antiseptic properties, which is a tea tree, and I apply it to the pad, generous amount, and then let's rub that onto the face, just going with the grain, doing the beard. That helps with disinfection, tightening up the pores, and removing grease and dirt so that you don't get bumps and you don't get any, because when you're shaving, you're actually taking off a layer of the skin and bacteria can penetrate. So it's always good to use something which cleans up all the dirt. So that way you're less prone to get acne, you're less prone to get bumps, you're less prone to get irritation for your subsequent shaves. And I like to just rub this, and you can see that even though I washed my face in the shower today, that this is really filthy. So this is what I recommend, using a pad, and that way you're nice and clean and no nicks and cuts, and your skin improves over time. And that's another good thing. If you shave every day, a mild razor and a mild blade is probably better for you if you do like 2-3 passes than using an aggressive razor, because that's going to remove a lot of skin and you're more prone to get irritation. Okay, next up, let's use the skin food as the aftershave. 3 or 4 squirts of that. Lime, quite nice. A little bit of menthol in there. That's good. Yeah, you can see the results from a nice shave. Today, because I'm using lime, I want to go with something fresh, so Acqua de Gio. 2 squirts of that. That matches well. Let that dry. And so that's it for my second shaving video. If you liked the video, please click like, share and subscribe, and hopefully I'll do more entertaining videos. I'm just a little nervous because it's my second video. Hopefully the screen is improved and it's a lot more clear than my first video, because that was quite blurry. And thank you.